Welcome to another episode of Concubitus. This is Taya and
Maren.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. It's yet another day to record a new episode for our wonderful podcast. And today we chose to speak about one-night stands.
Yes.
Which we figured out during lunch.
We are very prepped, we swear.
While having the blueberry pancakes.
Yes.
We figured out it's an interesting topic
We
to talk about.
came to talk about it because of current events. Stuff has happened in the nether regions. And we just came to talk about...
Elaborate on this?
I'll get to it. But we came to talk about it because it's just a fun subject on how people perceive this one-night stand.
Mm-hmm.
A funny thing.
And also how you yourself perceive it, right?
Yeah. So the reason that we started talking about it is because I recently was on a date and I had sex with a guy on said first date. And this is something I actually usually do, whether it's a one-night stand or someone I intend on seeing more. Like I always intend on seeing them multiple times because I like to have one sexual partner, so I know I can at least get sex regularly. But we came to talk about this because I mentioned to both coworkers and friends that I was going on a date, and then I mentioned that the possibility of me being naked was already there. And some of them were like, whoa, you already pre-decided that you were gonna have sex. And I was like, well, yeah, I did. Because my philosophy is, if you're sexually attracted to a person already and you're feeling their vibe, why are you gonna deny yourself the possibility of having sex with them? Because there's these weird social norms about not having sex on a first date.
Exactly, and I think this is already where the problem starts, that why is it someone else's business what you are doing and how you are deciding to go about your dates or whatsoever.
So I mentioned it
this
to
is
a...
already,
exactly.
Like,
so,
why do you have to defend your choice of doing that?
Why do I have to defend my vagina?
Yeah.
I should defend her. She's amazing.
I mean,
but
but
the choice is... No, but the reason that we were kind of annoyed by the whole situation and dragging it away from an actually really incredible experience was that I mentioned it to my friend, and he was like that he had heard from his friend whatever, no science related here.
Get
that
your own life.
A guy, and straight guys, please, if this is true, stop it, that a guy will lose interest faster if you have sex with him on the first date, because there's this, it's the end game, it's the goal, it's the chase, and men are hunters, and then if they already get what they wanted on the first date, it's not exciting anymore. And I just don't agree.
And I think it's just this whole male-female division that really annoys me about it, because if you want to go for what you want to go for, then just do it, right?
Yeah.
Why does it have to be this but you're the woman, that means you should behave in that way?
Yeah.
Because that's what men expect. But then I'm like, it could have also happened that you went to that date, you guys have sex, and afterwards you're like, no, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, maybe he was horrible in bed. And I was like, I don't want to waste my energy on that.
Why are we always expecting women wanting to desperately get married because now there's this man and savior of my life,
Yeah.
I really think it can go either way. I just think it's not normalized for us to speak more openly about it and to speak more openly about what we want. Yeah. And then just to go for it. Yeah. Because then it's but you should behave that way because this is your gender or sex.
But even if we take it this Christina Aguilera song, Can't Hold Us Down.
Literally,
but either way.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
But it's... Men can judge women as much as they want for this thing because we're acting as what a man in this perspective would be, but
we're
it's
also
we're allowing them, but it's also women that sometimes do it to other women.
100%.
I've had friends who be like, oh, you can have sex with a guy one time and then that's just it, floozy girl, and I'm like, no, I'm just very comfortable in my sexuality. I know what I want. I went there.
I love this about you.
Like, I went there with an intention. Like, I wouldn't...
And why the fuck not?
Exactly.
Like...
Mama's hungry.
Mama...
She needs her needs. She needs her snack. Her carrot to chew on.
You know? No, it is not... And this is also what I think is important to emphasize. It's not, oh, men are doing this to us. Like,
no. We're all doing it to each other.
In their position.
And to ourselves.
Yeah, and whom they're attracted to is...
Was that?
Oh yeah, it's just...
Ghosts.
Ghosts are around here, guys. We're all contributing to those narratives being, you know, promoted and reproduced, and whomever you're attracted to or however you see yourself, you will face those constraints at one point in your life.
But if we go back to the point of the whole men losing interest, so my counterpoint to this statement was that I don't understand why men would lose interest, like, at first, because if you're... Okay, not that there's a rule book to sex, but if we have to boil it down really intense... You can
write one.
Yeah, I will write them. How not to lose interest.
Danes love their rules, so...
Yeah, well, they're meant to be broken. No. No, but for me, it's more like if... And that might just be me, but for me, if he lost interest after having sex with me once, I did not appetize the whole meal properly, you know? I'm not just an appetizer. I'm the whole fucking meal. But you're not gonna get full on one time.
There's a Lizzo line about this.
Exactly.
In one of her songs.
Yeah. Quote Lizzo.
Yeah, quote Lizzo. You're the queen.
And for me, it's like you want to give them a bite of the cake, but they can't have the whole cake at once. You want to leave them wanting more.
But you know, also the thing is, what if you end up having sex and let's say the guy loses interest in you?
Yeah. It's happened.
So what? Yeah. But then so what?
You find a new guy.
You're still yourself. You still love yourself. You're still amazing. You're still beautiful and intelligent. You know, so sometimes I then feel like it's not that my self-worth is completely breaking down then. Just because
no.
Then I'm like, okay, well...
It didn't go as expected,
sad,
but...
Or it sucks, or actually I'm happy
doesn't
about
make
it,
me less of a woman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, your self-worth is not entitled to...
Yeah. I was actually with this one guy where... Do you even... If it's a one-night stand, does it have to be a sleepover? Or is it just you have sex once? What's the rules here?
I guess it can
the
be
definition?
both.
It's just... You see this person one time, you have sex, and then never again.
Actually, what is the...
All these definition?
Well,
let's in this term say it's you meet a person, have sex with them, never see them again. Kinda.
Okay.
For this part of the story, at least. I went on a date with a guy. It was lunchtime. We were having crazy sexual tension, and we both knew it. And it was undeniable that we were going to see each other naked and enjoy it.
Yeah.
So we went to his place after we had lunch. We had sex in middle of the day. The horrors.
Did you have blueberry pancakes?
I did not, sadly. But I would have eaten them off of him.
I mean...
Either way. No, the sex was incredible, and he put the standard way too high. Like, he did not need to do that. That was rude.
What do you mean?
Like, he just did all the right things.
Oh.
And he was really handsome, too.
Oh, okay.
It was like a catch for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Either way... I was invested. I was like, I am gonna write this guy into the sunset forever.
Going down in the books.
Yeah. And then he decided that was it. And I was like,
but how?
I didn't even show you all my good tricks.
Did he communicate?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
In a poor way, but he did.
Okay.
He was a busy guy, and he didn't want to waste my time. And I was like, that's a big fat lie, but okay. You're not wasting my time if we're just agreeing on casual sex, but fair enough.
But with this whole dating life and how we are in our societies these days, I think people, and that is also very fair enough, and I'm not saying I'm not lost, because I definitely am very often in my life, but I think in the end it comes back to you knowing what you want, what gives you pleasure, how you are... What makes you happy, basically.
Yeah.
And I think often we run into those things because we think it gives us some meaning, and then it maybe does give us some meaning or some adrenaline or some pleasure, but then often I think people are just not aware of, okay, what but what exactly is it that gives me meaning right now? And like then you start in this ghosting, or now I have to be in a relationship, or all that stuff. And that is like fair enough, because I think especially in our generation we're so used to interactions being more I don't want to say less meaningful, because I know that there are still a lot of people who seek for connections, but
they can be meaningful but without meaning. Does that make sense?
And that is also fine.
Yeah.
Like, if this is what you want, this is totally fair enough. But I think it just then often happens to, people making assumptions about you, which also doesn't matter, because who the fuck cares? But I think it's also often...
But it's the same with, like, numbers. Like, what's your body count? Like, who the fuck gives a damn? Why does this... No, don't look at me like I've been asked that. But it's the shaming of... You've been with people. Like, have you ever gone into, like, met a man with the knowledge of it being a one-night stand? Like, you knew you were only going to have sex with him that one time.
Yeah, for sure happened.
Okay. Because I never go into thinking, because I always want, like, a long-term sexual partner. Not necessarily a relationship, but someone I can have regularly sex with. So I never go into something thinking, I'm just going to have sex with you this one time, because it's a momentarily...
I mean, it did happen,
tension.
But then more in the sense of, okay, someone is leaving the next day, or you're not living in the same place. And that type of constellation, that it did happen, but I have to say that it's really not doing it for me.
Exactly.
Because what I really figured out throughout the last years more and more is that I need to have a connection with someone to have sex. I can be attracted to people on a more superficial level, or like what I said earlier on, like I can go out, kiss 5 people and go home and I'm fine. But I can just have the love in me for people and like appreciate you because you're beautiful, but that's maybe it. But in order to get intimate, which I know also comes back to my own insecurities a lot and my own anxieties, is then I feel more comfortable with having some sort of connection, not in the sense of I want to marry you or I want to be in a relationship with you, not at all, but I need some level of trust or respect
for it to be good,
also
at least
some sort of
connection, chemistry. For me, the same, for sure. I need some kind of attraction, whether it's physical or mentally, like, and if it's both, hell yeah, what a great like combo, but one of them has to be there, and I need to find that this person is on the same wavelength as me.
Exactly. And I mean, this connection can be anything, right? It can be a connection in the sense of, okay, this is just a one-time thing, or this is, as you said, a sexual relationship, or I'm actually looking for someone to, like, it's so different from person to person, but I think that it really starts with yourself and like, okay, what do I actually want? And I do think that it is weird for most people if women own their sexuality. Like
it doesn't sit well with a lot of I guess it does sit well, but it's new to them, especially if they're sharing. So what I mentioned earlier, I would share with friends and coworkers that I was going on this date, and they were like, oh, okay. And was very, maybe not surprised, but a lot of people don't know how to handle that you're being open about your sexuality. And I have amazing coworkers that are my friends and family, so they will accept me for who I am. They know what I am, and if they don't want to listen to my shit, they can leave. Like, they know.
Exactly.
They know who I am.
That's how it is with family.
So they know what to expect from me. But then I'm also surprised how many questions they have when you're then open about it.
Exactly. And I think in the end of the day, we're just all so insecure, and people are just, as soon as you start to step out a bit in some sort of way out of the box or category, people want you to put in, it calls on their insecurities. And fair enough, we all know that like we also have our biases, right?
Yeah.
That's just sometimes the way it is, but it's, to me, yeah, it is very interesting to then be depicted as this, like, yeah, what you often get, like, oh, you're having a sex podcast, you must be this hypersexual person and stuff. And then I'm like, you're just clearly not listening. Like, if you would really listen to this podcast, if you would really listen to me,
what we're actually saying,
then you would actually see it a bit in a different context. And yes, if I want to own my sexuality, if I see someone in a bar I want to approach,
I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll do it, you know. And this is really also like what I find find interesting with dating your same sex, or like being into your same sex, that there is still somehow this role division in a weird way, but it's definitely different. Yeah. Because you don't have this man-woman thing, you know? Like,
true, you can't.
It's like, oh, okay, so yeah, this
Who
is
takes
kind of,
the lead?
This is kind of not here, or maybe in a different way, but...
How do you navigate that?
Yeah. And I think it's just fucking bullshit sometimes. This whole, like...
What I would like to know is, if we're going back to the whole, what is one night stand? Or let's say, so I've had a couple of, I've only seen this guy once, had sex, it was fun, good times, great seeing you never again. And no harm done. But I want to know, like, obviously, as you said, there can be circumstances why it's not having someone moving or whatever. Yeah. But I want to know, if that's not the case, like, what is the stepping stone of going from being potential sexual partner to just being a one-night stand? Like, where does it stop? Is it... Because I can only speak for myself. Like, I go into something with wanting to have sex regularly, because that usually means it's going to get better. So that's what you want. But where does it stop and be like, oh, I guess this was just a one-night stand? Like, whose mentality is stopping it? And then it takes me back to that fucking conversation with my friend who was like, guys lose interest if you have sex with them the first time. And I was like, why would you lose interest? I'm hella fun. I'm a hoot.
But yeah.
Let me toot.
Wow.
I swear I'm funny. Sometimes.
Love it. Well, I think that is probably hard to define or know.
I know, but it's like a weird... Instead, like,
no, why? I get your point, but I think maybe that's also just something that you're looking for a bit more at the moment, like the sexual relationship, or you are someone that can differentiate. Yeah. And like, okay, I'm just looking for a sexual partner,
might be like one of those night out one night stands. So that's something I don't do. I don't go out drinking, then find some random dude and hook up with. Yeah. And I guess if we had someone here who did that, I'm assuming you don't do that either.
All the time.
All the time?
No, but I mean, whatever floats your boat.
I would like that, like, how do you know from going out, drinking, having fun, seeing a person where you're insanely, apparently, if it's alcohol or whatever, you're attracted to them, deciding to go home and have sex. Why do you wake up in the morning and think, oh, what a bad decision, I must go home? Like, why not wake up and be like, oh, damn, I got late. Let's do it again. Dude, Hit me up.
I think it's like, first of all, I think some people just want to get invested in any sort of sense. Yeah. What I mean with this is like, and I know it's happening, and like, that's also, whatever people want to do. I think for some people it's just like, okay, I'm just going on Tinder and like, I'm having this date and we're having sex and it's clear and that's gonna be it,
But why stop there? Yeah, I mean, if it's not good,
I think
fair enough.
I think
be done, so ain't nobody got time for that. But if it's good, why stop?
I think people just don't want to go down that path.
Oh, it's because they're scared of communication.
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking.
Just say you don't want a relationship.
Fucking communication.
Actually, that's
not
bit
working
me.
For most people.
No, actually, that's bit me once. I was like, you know what? I just want casual sex, and then because I feel like I've already told you this, because I said I wanted something casual, just sex. Hit me up whenever you're horny. Yeah, was a great deal, and then I became this glorified. I had time whenever and could just have all the sex in the world. So he fell for me. of this version of me, and I was like, no, dude, this is not me. Like, this is the horny me that's like living my life, just wanting some dick on the side.
But that's what I mean with, like, you can differentiate it.
Yeah.
Or, like, you're differentiating it for yourself in that way. But, I mean, I've been talking to people, or, like, and also women that were like, you know, I just want this one day. Dates.
One day
this
of dick.
One day in life. No, but, like, I want this date. I want to have this one night stand. As soon as we're done, the guy can leave. I'm good. You know? Tomorrow I'm going to meet someone else. And I'm like, hey, okay, that fair enough. If you want to do this, like, totally fine. I think people have their reasons, you know, for whatever. And I get your point.
I'm interested in reasons, people.
No,
like,
I get your point.
Yeah.
I get your point, but I think...
I just don't understand why people would deny themselves the pleasure. It literally makes no sense in my head.
I think it's not...
Or the potential pleasure.
I think, you know, honestly, I think it also comes back to people not really knowing what they want.
True. Apparently not pleasure.
Because then again, we're back in the circle of like, oh, now I'm texting this person again, and then he thinks I want a relationship.
Yeah, because I'm showing interest, but really I'm just horny.
Yeah.
That's happened to me too.
And it happened to me that,
people don't understand if you have a high libido, it's not because I love you, it's because my vagina likes you.
You know, and then
there's a difference.
Yeah, I have this problem that I just love getting to know people. And I live so much with my heart, it often gets a problem.
Oh. You don't understand. I don't love you, I like you.
I don't want to change that, because that's how I am. But it also led to situations where then someone was like, like ghosting me for like 2 or 3 months. And then
you caught feelings, girl. No, I didn't.
Yeah, you end up having a conversation again. And then it's like, I just really didn't want a relationship. And I was like, well, what made you think I want to have a relationship?
Did you ask?
I mean, it's not... that this is a complete delusional assumption, right? But it's also like, I just want to treat people nicely.
Yeah.
And decent, and I actually want to like people I spend time with, you know?
How rude of you.
I want to feel good with people around me, but...
Ew. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. But for me, I always... The thing that disappoints me the most about sexual partners is not the sex itself, because I always see that you can always improve. I mean, the first time it's always going to be like a little bit wonky, because you don't know each other's body, but I give it time, you know, awkward, each other's rhythm. But what disappoints me is the fact that they kind of miss the point where I'm like, no, I just want to have sex regularly, and it can be fucking amazing, and it doesn't need to be like anything special. Like, I don't want a relationship. Like, I would marry your dick, but I don't know.
You can cut it off and leave it.
Give that. Place. No, I need the motion of the body for sure.
True.
Otherwise, I have a vibrator that works fine.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but like, I'm just disappointed about the whole. You thought
societal bullshit.
Yeah, where basically. I'm like, can we just have some great sex? God damn it.
And I mean, I have to say that this is really one of the things I like most about you, is that you're not...
Great.
You're just awesome. No, but you're not too shy to admit it, right?
Yeah.
And you know, like, as I said, like, you know what you want, and you go for it. I think it
took me some time, though. People, I'm not goals. It took me a long time. A lot of Tinder dates.
I mean, same. And it's just, at this point in time, I'm just annoyed to always... feeling like I have to explain myself or defend my point of view, and I think that's also not the part, or that shouldn't be the point of it, right? Because again, this comes back to actually understanding others and having some sort of empathy, and or trying at least to listen, whatever. And that's fine, like, whatever. And that's the thing, like, I think we should just let people do what they want.
Yeah, whether it's a one-night stand or just something longer.
Go for what you want.
Yeah.
You know, and
hype your
fuck
humans.
other people's opinion about it.
Yeah.
But that also means you and me having our approach, we also have to accept that
someone has a different approach,
someone might see it differently. That's also fine.
I mean, they can see it differently. I just don't want them to question my choices.
Exactly.
And put me in a spotlight where I start to question my own choices, because I'm like, oh, is this the correct thing to do? Like, yes, I acted on lust. I acted on chemistry.
Yeah.
And no regrets. Like, I've never had a walk of shame.
And
Because it's some, like, okay, I've never had a walk of shame, but I'm not saying that all the sex partners I've had has been great.
Yeah.
But I didn't walk out of there with shame because
But society wants you to feel shame. That's the thing.
Yeah, because I walked out of there with the decision of having sex. Like, I could have stopped if I didn't want it, but I chose to have sex.
Yeah.
And then it's not a shame walk.
But then fuck what others think.
Yeah, but exactly. But then I'm like, there's this apparent, you fuck it. Whisper it to me, talk dirty to me. No.
Sorry if I brought
Lost track there. No, it's especially with one night stands that there's an extra walk of shame talk where I'm like, it should be a walk of fucking pride because you got laid and you're an amazing, sexy lady.
Amen.
Or man. Whatever
I don't know
you
if
are.
Christian word. Anyway,
don't bring God into this.
What would Jesus say? No, but I think you have to own yourself.
Yeah.
Your desires and whatsoever. And in the end of the day, we all have our insecurities.
Oh, for sure.
And comments like the comments you got yesterday probably just call on your insecurity because you're like, wait, I'm owning my sexuality. I know what I want.
Yeah.
But I feel like everyone else doesn't want me to feel that way.
Yeah,
so
or
that makes you
should I think about someone else's feeling because I have to work harder now for him not to lose interest. And I was like, no, because I'm fucking cool.
And if you think about it, doesn't it just come back to yourself?
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean with fuck it, because it doesn't matter what other people say.
You know what? Go out and
fuck it. It really doesn't matter. And you have to own it, and you have to be self-aware, and you have to do stuff that is healthy for you.
Yeah, and even if you're not like super hyped about this one night stand that you had, like try and think about the process of getting there.
Yeah.
Where the choices were made. Like, you shouldn't be ashamed of a one night stand that wasn't great. All. You should be like, oh, I had an experience.
Or you
can learn from it. You can have a fun story out of it.
Yeah.
Like, we've all had that.
Yeah.
And then take that from it instead of the negative, like, social...
It really doesn't matter.
Boo-hoo.
It really doesn't matter, because it starts with yourself. And extending what I said with owning yourself and taking care of yourself, obviously that also then extend to taking care of others, in the sense of you should treat others respectfully, and
women to men, men to women, women to women, and like anyone. Stop like
and if
butting in on other people's business.
I don't feel like seeing that person anymore, or I don't feel attracted anymore, then I know it's not always that easy, and I'm not saying I'm perfect in any sense of that, but then at least try to communicate it.
Yeah.
But that really starts with being grounded with yourself.
Yeah. Know how to...
And we will never get rid of those insecurities. Like,
no.
They will always be
like,
there.
nobody's fucking perfect.
No.
There's
no such thing as perfection.
No. True.
Like, you're just the way you are.
What we just want to say with this is go have the fun, kids.
Just
do you.
Love yourself and
exactly.
live your life.
Hey.
It doesn't fucking matter, honestly.
Yeah. You only got one knife. I was like trying to rap with another. Let's not do that. Don't do that.
Girl.
Oh, the horror. No, but like.
But it's that easy, actually.
It is that easy. If you feel ashamed about a one night stand, rethink the whole situation. What it is that brings you to the shame part. Yeah, like, exactly. Is it yourself, or is it someone else, or is it norms?
It's always yourself.
Brings back to your insecurities.
Honestly.
Have communication with yourself.
Yeah, listen in.
Yeah.
And understand, and even though you sometimes can't explain it, it's fine.
Yeah.
We can't be perfect, we can't be whole. Like, we're just...
we are who we are.
But thanks for listening in.
It was lovely to have you listening in and have you back.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button.
We
appreciate it.
Yes, it's nice to know that you're listening with us. Thank you, and bye.